think having hate speech next to an ad is great.
Now, when I played that initial clip with all the ums and the so,
you took it all out.
Really, he's really bad. He's worse than a stammerer. He's just terrible.
Well, he also has Tourette's. He has tics. He has all kind of stuff. I see it. I see what's going on. I have compassion with him in that regard. Us geniuses have.
I haven't noticed the Tourette's. That's interesting. You spotted that.
Oh yeah. All kinds of tics.
What? I'm visualizing him now.
Verbal tics, and some head tics, some like jerky motion tics.
I can see it. For some reason, I was probably idolizing him too much, and I would never idolize someone with tics.
Idolizing. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the humor.
All right, so we know that. So he doesn't like hate speech next to ads. So. Let's listen to this. This is interesting. This is a software stack.
Software stack.
Yeah, I've only got the keys to the building, a week ago Friday. So, I'm moving pretty fast here, but it does take a moment to completely rewrite the software stack.
Wow.
So they're going to rewrite the entire code base for Twitter.
No. The software stack.
That's interesting. I thought that was, and here's another one I thought was interesting. This is the.
Can I just say? I need to hear this again because I have a problem with what he's saying. Actually,
yeah, I've only got the keys to the building, a week ago Friday. So, I'm moving pretty fast here, but it does take a moment to completely rewrite the software stack.
So, I mean, it takes a moment to completely rewrite the software stack. I mean, is he going to rewrite Linux? Is he going to rewrite the middleware databases? It doesn't even sound like someone who knows or is even intending. I think he's got something drop-in replacement ready to go. That's what when you have a stack, you just put a different stack in place. You're not rewriting all the code. You're putting something else. I think there's a clue here.
You know that observation? I'm 100% with you.
Yeah, there's a clue here.
Okay, that's a clue. Here's another one. This is the Toddbit growth clip.
Okay. Yeah, well, and for the record, we're seeing, record-breaking user growth on the platform since you took the keys. So that's excellent. And
I love this the most. Hey, Elon, I'll be Jason. What? You be Jason Calacanis, and you pitch me, Elon. You pitch me the idea of just lying and putting out a press release that there's an enormous user uptake. Okay, here we go. Hey, Jason.
Yeah, Elon, I got a great idea what you can do. You can you can just lie because nobody's going to notice. And so if you just tell them this, they're going to believe you. It's a great idea. You can credit me later by giving me a good job.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, the No Agenda Players. Chapeau.
So let's go with Musk Scheme 1.
Conversation around Vine. And can you just talk about some of the stuff you're really excited about from a product perspective?
Yeah, she picked up on his excitement.
Who did this interview? Is this NPR still?
No, she's a woman. She's
a woman? Are you sure?
This is a presentation to the advertiser. She's a Twitter head of advertising or something like that.
The ad, and this is on the...
This is all the ad. Everything you've heard is from this presentation.
Dude, I'd be like messaging you in the meeting going, "That guy's a perv, man. We're not putting any money in that guy's hands." I heard that there were people who actually were canceling orders during that meeting.
That's hearsay, but let's listen.
No, it was reported.
But these two clips are backing your ideas up.
Yes, I'm ready.
Again, now listening to these clips, by the way, I want to compare the analysis you can come out of with actually all the clips I've played so far with what NPR had to say, which was basically nothing. Listen to this.
Conversation around Vine. And can you just talk about some of the stuff you're really excited about from a product perspective. Aside from, we've already talked about subscriptions, but like, what else? And you've said to me to the team, like to the organization before about video and all those kinds of things. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, video is definitely an area where Twitter has been historically weak, and it's an area that we're going to invest in tremendously. And this is, I did ask people what their interest was in Vine. Not that we would want to resurrect Vine in its original state, but just would they want a Vine-like thing, but reimagined for the future? And people were very excited about that. One of the things if somebody does become sort of a paid Blue verified is that they will be able to initially use or download 10 minutes of high def video, which we'll be expanding to 42 minutes soon, and then several hours as we sort of fix a bunch of stuff on the back end servers. Like there are a bunch of fundamental technology architecture changes that are needed at Twitter in order to support significant video. So we've got to make those core software upgrades and server upgrades in order to support a large amount of video, but we are absolutely going to do that.
What is he? Is he at level? Sorry, I don't mean as bad, but dude named Ben running the servers. Like, we've got to upgrade the servers. Oh, that's real. That's the issue. You just need bigger servers. This guy's full of monkey poop.
Well, if he's going to do what he said was he's got to upgrade something, because if you're going to do 2 hours of HD video, you're going to need something back there to carry all this stuff. This is a lot of overhead.
Does he?
So I think what he's saying is we just need more gear.
Does he?
And don't forget, my basic thesis, which I still think is valid, and I think may still be valid, is a lot of the reasons that, and you used to see it with the fail whale that disappeared, and then all of a sudden they started shadow banning people, is I always thought that Twitter was overburdened. I never thought they could handle the loads that they were witnessing, and that's the reason people weren't getting their tweets out.
No, that was, in my opinion, because they were initially based on RSS, because they were a podcasting company, if you remember. And they used that infrastructure to use tweets, and that just fell apart because it's not intended to be centralized. It's a decentralized protocol. So then they retooled. I think it was after 3-4 years, John. It took quite a while for them to retool everything, but they did eventually move to, wait for it, headless Drupal.
You're not using Drupal.
No, of course not.
But you said it as though you're giving us some facts there. You're being sarcastic.
I can't help it. That was an easy one.
Sarcasm doesn't work. But anyway, onward.
I wasn't being sarcastic.
Well, yeah, when you said they're using headless Drupal.
That's not being sarcastic. That's being humorous. Anyway.
I consider it sarcastic to even bring up the word Drupal.
Okay.
You Drupal? Anyway, why don't you, is that the end of that clip?
That was the end of clip 1.
Okay, go to clip 2.
We also need to enable monetization of content for creators. Yeah. And if we provide creators with the ability to post what they create on our platform and to monetize it at a rate that is at least competitive with the alternatives, then of course creators will natively post their content on Twitter. Why not? So those are kind of no-brainer moves. Then also keyed off of verification, paid verified, is now we know that this is someone who has been authenticated by the payment system, by the sort of conventional payment system. Now we can say, like, okay, you've got a balance on your account. Do you want to send money to someone else within Twitter? And maybe we pre-populate their account with and say, okay, we're going to give you $10, and you can send it anywhere within Twitter. Then if you want to get it out of the system, then, okay, well, now you need to send it to a bank account. So now attach an authenticated bank account to your Twitter account. Then the next step would be, let's offer an extremely compelling money market account, so you get extremely high yield on your balance. Then why not move cash into Twitter? Great. That sounds like a good idea. And then add debit cards, checks, and whatnot. And I think it will be just basically make the system as useful as possible. The more useful and entertaining it is, the more people will use it.
Does he know this is recorded and broadcast on the internet? This is
if he knows nobody's paying attention.
I mean, and he's saying this to advertise. He does not give a shit about the audience. You wouldn't. I mean, I've been. You're right. I've done many pitch meetings with advertisers, and the dog may bark in a moment. I think some package is coming. And there's just certain. You suck up, basically. You're just continuously making them feel good. That's just how it works. And you reassure them because they're little children with a big checkbook. And you don't go off into Neverland about, I'm going to be your bank. And, oh, by the way, wouldn't it be great if it was a CBDC? He missed that part. That would have been beautiful. He's certainly ready for it. He'll be the guy.
Yeah, I agree.
With all the payment authenticated. And think about it. You know what?
You're getting money market accounts on Twitter? What? I mean, that right there is what PBS should be talking about, or NPR. No one has noticed it until you noticed it last show.
How about CNBC? Let's see what CNBC is saying about him. I mean, they are so stupid, these people. They really can't. They have zero thought patterns. It's just, wow. The Dow Jones is up 1,200 points. Holy guacamole. Let me see. Do you have anything on Elon? Man, he's not even on. Oh, here it is. Read Elon Musk's first email to all Twitter employees. Remote work over. Company needs subscriptions. This is your financial press. The guy is literally talking about starting and becoming a bank.
Yeah, the guy's talking about becoming the bank of the world.
Yeah.
And everything you'd ever want from a bank. He's talking about it openly, and nobody's noticing? What?
And it's all going to be Doge.
Well, he doesn't even bring any of that in. I mean, he's saying is enough to keep some bank. What he's saying is enough to keep CNBC busy for a week. But no,
he is not going to do Doge, by the way, because now, and he's not even talking about that because he's serious. Now he means it. Enough messing around. Now I mean it for real. Oh, that's pretty. I'm glad you got that. Is the whole thing available? I'd love to watch the whole thing.
Yes, the whole thing's available.
Just out of professional interest.
There's other stuff in there too, and then you can also make it one of the biggest collections of so.
There's that. Yeah, there's that.
Poor guy. But this information, which I will give you 100% credit for first coming across, is now. It's obvious what's going on. He's saying it, and nobody is paying any attention. It's unbelievable to me.
The interesting thing is that he said specifically, maybe I give you $10 up front in your account, which you can give to anybody you want on Twitter. Now did he say $10 or I don't remember what
he said 10.
But he said 10 or $10.
He said $10.
Right. So it could be a stable coin. It could be anything. It's not going to be.
It could be $10.
No, it can't be because to send any fraction of $10 through the traditional payment processing system is just too expensive.
He won't be doing that traditional payment processing system. It's going to be all internal.
Exactly. That's called a stable coin, by the way.
Well, whatever it's called, if it can go to my bank account, which it seems so.
Yeah. Well, you should talk to people who invested in FTX and ask if that always works to take it out and put it in your bank account.
If he does it and I get a connection to my bank account, I'm good to go.
You trust Elon?
Yeah.
Wow. Even though you know his evil plan and the mark of the beast.
I know his evil plan.